Many times if you see your dog shaking, it doesn't really mean that the dog's fearful, it just means that the dog's excited. An example of that would be a bird dog that's on point on a bird. They're not moving, but you'll see them shaking. They're excited. So anytime you see the dog shaking, even in a fear state, don't flip out. That's not going to help the dog. Don't get all emotional about an animal that really, emotions, nothing like a human. So don't convince yourself that you need to console the dog, because consoling the dog will only flip the dog out. It's better to tell the dog no. In other words, if she was shaking so much that she couldn't say it sit, I would correct her for not staying at sit. That's it. So when I put the e-collar on her, by the way, this is on 8, it's a mini educator, she was shaking. Why was she shaking? She was shaking because she was excited because she knew that we were going to work. That's it. This is Riley, and Riley gets really excited in certain situations. Loud noises excite her, and stuff like a hairdryer excites her, and whether it's related to fear, see how she sort of walks away from it? She doesn't want to deal with it. We want her to deal with it. We want her to see this object as nothing to be afraid of. See, she's wagging her tail. We need that. We need her to know that this is nothing to be fearful of. Yesterday when we were working with her, Riley, sit. And we started up the hairdryer. There was shaking. There was a lot of shaking. So she was going into this sort of fear state. It's not really even a fear state unless the dog's bolting. So that's how you make the dog better, because remember, dog training, it's a lot of muscle memory. So for her not to be fearful is about making sure that she doesn't run from whatever she's running from. Now see how she avoids this? And there's really no reason for her to avoid it. So we're not going to even turn it on right now. I just want her to sniff it, and I'll even pet her with it. Right? Good girl, Riley. She sort of freaked out, what's that? But let her see it. Yesterday, when it was on the ground, you could see her avoiding it. She didn't know if she should attack it or stay away from it. So we want to make sure that she's close to it. She sees it as nothing that's going to hurt her. Many times, a lot of these things that a dog's fearful of, skateboard, how a lot of dogs respond to skateboards negatively, it's making a growling sound. Riley, sit. So if I turn this on, it's growling. So I want her to get used to it first when it's off. Good girl, Riley. Good. So her tail's wagging. I'm petting her, and I'm petting her with the hairdryer, and she'll get used to it. That's what it's about. It's about her just getting used to it. There's no reason to run from this. Now, we'll do this for a couple more sessions where we just come out and deal with it in the off position, right? It doesn't even have to be plugged in right now. It could be unplugged, and we'll just get her used to doing this. Now, I do the same thing with a healing stick. I don't want the dog to see the healing stick as just something that's sort of negative that bumps into the dog, so I'll pet the dog with the healing stick. So that's sort of what we're doing here too, is that we're petting Riley with the hairdryer, and she'll get used to it. She will. She'll definitely get used to it. And then when we start doing it real close, I'll have it on low first, right? I'll have it on low, and I might pet her with it even on too, on low. Now I'll make sure that when the air's coming out, that it's not blowing against her, it's blowing up, so she doesn't even feel that. But when we were doing this yesterday, I had it on the ground, and I had her walking into the hot air. Same thing when I was working with her upstate, doing the vacuum cleaner. It was a shop vac, and there was hot air blowing out. She would walk through that stream of hot air, getting her used to that feeling, and me telling her there's nothing to be fearful of. And that's pretty much what this is about, is just telling the dog, look, this is something, it's nothing. Good girl, right? Good girl. See, she can sniff it, she can get used to it. And we won't even, like I said, we're not going to even turn it on now. We're going to do a couple more sessions, and then we'll turn it on and have her put up with it, but she'll start seeing this as something good. Then the plan is to turn it on and have her start doing retrieves. So we'll turn it on, throw a retrieve. She goes and gets the object, brings it back, Do you see what I'm saying? We turn it on, throw an object, so she starts hearing that sound, sort of similar to a gunshot. You want the dog to hear the gunshot and know it's going on a retrieve. Something positive to the gunshot. You see, it's important that if your dog is fearful, that you work with your dog and make sure that your dog doesn't go into these super excited states, and don't get sucked into like the emotional state of the dog, because when you're talking about the emotional state of the dog, it's nothing like us. They don't ponder thought. Our emotional state is completely different. We're the emotional animal on this planet. Other animals are not. We ponder thought, we worry. Do you understand what I'm saying? The dog it's much more black and white. It's more straightforward. If the dog is having a fear response, you tell the dog no and desensitize the dog to the object or the sound. And then, like I said, when we first do it, it'll be on low. And then maybe we'll try it with high. But right now it's off and we're just massaging Riley. Riley, good girl. Good girl. Riley, sit. No, sit. We might even do, have her go in the down position by it. Riley, down. No, down. And get her used to it. That's what it's about. You just get the dog used to it. And then, see, she's not really shying away from it at this point. That's a good girl, Riley. We'll have her walk over it here. Come on, Ron. Here. No. Here. Come here, baby. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. She touched it with her foot, and I said, good girl, and now her tail's up. You see? It's no big deal. Now, we might even, like, for this session, we'll plug it in. We'll turn it on again and work her a little bit. Turn it on. Good girl, Riley. It's on low. Here. Come on, Riley. Good girl. Come on, buddy. Come on, Riley. Good girl. Riley, heel. No. No, heel. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Here. Come on, Riley. There you go. Good girl. Here. Good girl. Turn it on high. Good girl, Riley. Your tail's up. Good. Come on, Riley. Here. Come on, here. Riley, here. Good girl. Come on, Riley. Want to see it? Come here, Ryan. Check it out. Now, the other thing that we'll do with this, to make sure that Riley understands that this is not anything that's going to harm her, is we can teach her to hold it too. Riley, sit. Right? So she can hold it. She's trained to hold it. Now, she might not want to do this at first, but by her doing this, she'll see that she can control the situation. She's controlling the situation. She's controlling the object. No, hold. You got it, baby. Hold. Hold. Yes. Hold. Good girl. Hold. 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 Good girl. Hold. Drop. That's a good girl. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Okay, Riley. Hold. No. Hold. Hold. Good girl. Hold. Hold. No. Hold. No. Hold. Head up. No. Hold. You got it. Hold. No. Hold. Hold. Good. It's good. Drop. If you control the dog's mouth, you control the dog. Do you understand what I'm saying? She can conquer the fear of this thing, and it really, don't think of it as like, oh, my dog's afraid, I feel sorry for the dog. You feel sorry for the dog, and the dog won't get better. It's a fact. If you care about the dog, don't worry that the dog is afraid. I mean, worry about it in the sense of like, I don't want my dog to be fearful. Do you understand? Make sure and give the dog the correct message. In other words, like if you had a kid and the kid was worried about going to kindergarten, you would make the kid go. You don't let the fear like overwhelm the dog or overwhelm the kid. You make sure that the kid is going to go to kindergarten and see that it's nothing to be afraid of. Just have her hold it again. Riley, hold. Open the dog's mouth. Hold. Hold. No, head up. You know the rules. Hold. No, hold. 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 No, hold. Good girl, hold. Hold, good girl, hold. Hold. Drop. I hate making the analogy of the kid, comparing it to a dog and stuff, but it's difficult for people to understand, so I use these analogies, but your dog really isn't like the kid. The kid, you can use language, you can make the kid understand there's nothing to be fearful of, you're going to meet kids there that are going to be your friends, it's going to be an awesome experience. The dog, you don't have that option. One, they don't understand language, they only understand tone. You see what I'm saying? It's completely different than a human being. They don't think, they respond. So the little kid, his head is reeling. He's thinking, oh God, what's going to happen? But the dog, it just sort of responds negatively. The dog is easier to fix about being fearful. You don't have to keep reassuring it. Don't reassure it at all. Just tell it, no, I told you to sit, I told you to hold it. If Riley can pick this up for me, doing a retrieve, which clearly she can, she's like the perfect size to be a service dog. She is, and this would be something a service dog could pick up. This is not going to be a problem. She can hold it by the handle or hold it by this. This is a large breed dog. She's not going to have issues with this. She is not going to have issues with the hairdryer. She's not gun shy anymore. Loud sounds like that don't freak her out. So you want to make sure and deal with these like fear states that your dog goes in, and tell the dog not to be super excited like that, because if they had one, they get another and another. There's like an association. In other words, like this sort of sounds like a vacuum cleaner. So she had a fear of vacuum cleaner, she has a fear of this. Do you understand? So like fireworks bother her, so we use the shotgun, we use the starter pistol to make sure and tell her that those sounds are nothing to be fearful of. Good girl, Riley. Now let's see if she'll hold it on this end. Here, hold. This is awfully big. You got it? Hold. Hold. You got it? Hold. You got it? Hold. Hold. Hold it tight, dude. Oh. No. Here. Hold. Hold. You got it. There you go. Hold. Yeah. Good girl, Ryan. Drop. Yeah, that was good. Good girl. Make sure that the dog sees it as something positive. That's it. You're home free.